Well, the hits just keep on coming here from the East Coast Ice Jam, our third game of the day on Sheet A. Excuse me, is the KV Kings out of New Brunswick taking on the Nova Junior X-Men from down around the Antigonish area. Starting in goal for the Nova Junior X-Men, number 31, Ewan McDonald from Antigonish. And manning the cage for the KV Kings, number 47, Jimmy Welsh from Quispamsis. The KV Kings wearing the LA Kings white, silver, and black. And the Nova Junior X-Men in the dark blue with white trim. Reminiscent of the St. Francis Xavier X-Men. Just a reminder that the first and second period, 15 minutes, and the third period, a full 20. Puck down deep into the KV zone. Kings back to get it. They work it out. Coming up with it now is Bellamy. Jackson Bellamy gives it off there for Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott takes it in over the line. Play broken up there and turned back. Banged off the boards. Junior X-Men trying to get that puck ahead. And Team Nova will chase that puck down, but it goes all the way down the ice. Play whistled, and we'll have a face-off down in the Nova end. Team Nova, coached by head coach Mike Stewart, assistants Bill Brophy, Willie McDonald, Richie Connors. Their trainers are Michael Matthews, Jason Helpert, and team manager Brian Ellis. Face off to the left of Ewan McDonald, controlled by the Junior X-Men. They swing it around there as Ella McLean, got it around. And there is Ella McLean. Gets that puck over on the far side. Puck up along the wall, trying to move it into the King zone. Picked up there by McCluskey, and McCluskey will turn with it. Goes right back the other way against the grain, where it's picked up by Andrew Secord. Up ahead now where Dalton Dunn has it. Dunn moves it forward. Chasing it down into the zone is Keegan Gilbert. Kings make a change on the back end. Get some fresh skaters out there as the puck is in the Nova zone. Team Nova moves that puck ahead smartly now, coming through center ice with it. And Team Nova will dump it in and take the opportunity to make some wholesale changes on their side. Early stages of period number 1 in this bantam action between the Nova Junior X-Men and the KV Kings. Puck in around. Stopped there. Hammered off the boards. And Darren Waterman will chase it down there. Had an opportunity to talk to Darren's dad, Gary, quite a few times. Gary Waterman, the head coach of the Loney Bowl champions, St. Francis Xavier X-Men, and also the AUS football head coach of the year. So Darren Waterman, number 8 for Team Nova, has some good sports lineage there, coming certainly from his dad. I've never met his mom, so I can't say for sure if she's an athlete or not, but certainly athletics running in the blood of his dad, Gary. And again, congratulations to Gary for being Coach of the Year in the AUS, as well as to the St. Francis Xavier X-Men, who won this year's 2015 AUS Loney Bowl, significant and signifying the AUS football champions. First time for St. Francis Xavier since '96. But it's back to hockey. Puck bounced off the boards. Dixon will keep it in at the line, but he doesn't actually. He goes right through his skates and forced to go back as Jackson Bellamy. Turn forward there. McDonald on the puck for the Team Nova. Trying to work it ahead. Off the boards. And back the other way come the KV Kings. This is Keene. Caleb Keene with a quick shot there, and Ewan McDonald grabs it and holds on. The KV Kings, their head coach Alex Carter, assistants Mike McCluskey, Riley Thompson, and Luke Simpson, team trainer Ronnie Oldfield, and the club is managed by Nancy Secord. Face off deep in the Nova zone to the left of the goaltender, Ewan McDonald. Off the draw, it's controlled by Andrew Secord for the Kings. Puck pinned down in that corner. Several players in there battling for it, including Ella McClellan, or excuse me, McLean. Team Nova takes that puck in behind their own goal, trying to get it out of their own zone. Fairly aggressive forecheck here coming from the Kings, and they keep that puck in. Dalton Dunn on there. McLean takes it away from him. Gets it over on the other side there for Helpert. McLean will chase it back in behind her own goal. Pushes it forward. Picked off there nicely by Drew Elliott. He tried to get a chance in front, but was foiled. Elliott works that puck around again, but then it's turned over, and Team Nova come right back the other way. Goes through the skates of Dixon. Nova jump on that puck, throw it in behind the goal. Kings have to chase it there. Noah Adams in behind his own net over on this near wall. A couple of Team Nova players in after it. Waterman in there digging for it. Comes back outside the line. Chisholm picks it up, spins around, and then carries it into the King zone. Floats that puck in towards the goal, and Welsh covers up with Waterman in sniffing around in front of that Kings goal. So no score here early in this one. 10:05 left to go in the period. Face off down in the King zone. Controlled and put in behind the goal by the KV Kings. Back to the line, held in nicely by Team Nova. They try to work it in front of the goal, but it's picked up by the Kings, and they'll clear it out. Here comes Scott. Scott tried to step around his man, but couldn't. And now a penalty coming up here as it's contact to the head being called. And we'll see who gets tabbed for it. And it is the man who made that last rush for the Kings, number 15, Ryan Scott from Quispamsis. He'll sit in the box for 2 minutes or less for contact to the head. So with 9:43 to go in the period, Team Nova has their first power play opportunity. Kings throw the puck down. This is McLean. She stops and turns with it now and will skate that puck up. Here's Rake. McLean keeps it in at the line. And the puck comes out, and the play is whistled down. 1:38 left to go in the man advantage for Team Nova. So we'll have a face-off just outside the Nova zone. 1:38, as I say, to go in the power play for the team in blue and white, Team Nova. They'll work that puck up ahead now with speed. This is Chisholm. And offside at the line. And again, not a whole lot going on so far in this power play. .9:12 on the clock in the period. 1:29 in the power play for Nova. Chisholm on this near side, carries it over the line and throws that puck down into the corner. Back to the line it comes. Nova working around. Chisholm skates it in, tries to get a shot away, but had it go off the skate of a Kings player. That was Huseman who knocked it down. Kings get the puck out over the red line. And Dunn picks it up now, and he'll go for a skate. 55 seconds left to go in the penalty to Scott. Team Nova having a hard time getting organized on this man advantage. Puck goes down the ice, and it's controlled there by the goaltender, McDonald. Puck along the boards. McLean in looking for it there, and it does come out of the zone, and Dixon picks it up for the Kings. And again, they fire it down the ice. Ewan McDonald in goal. hangs onto it, and then settles it down. Team Nova carry that puck out. McLean tried to get that puck around Gilbert. That didn't work. Forced to turn it right back the other way. Team Nova has 15 seconds left in the power play. One last rush. See if they can muster something here. Ellis couldn't make something happen. And again, puck was pushed ahead and the play whistled down. So just 7 seconds left in the penalty to the Kings player, Scott. .750 left to go in this period. The Nova Junior X-Men and the KV Kings. Kennebecasis Valley in beautiful New Brunswick. Thus the KV. Back for it is Stewart. They move it up along the boards, and Nova skates out of the zone with it. Penalty is over. Team's back to full strength. Chisholm in on the forecheck, forces his man back. Puck goes off the wall and up. Moved around along there by Stewart. Stewart goes cross ice now, and then it's banked off the boards. Melanson throws it back in for the Kings. Stewart once again has it in behind his own goal. Sean Stewart moves it ahead. Chisholm tries to get up with it now. Logan Chisholm takes it. Sharp angle shot, goes wide of the goal. Back to the line, held in there by Grant. Nova makes some changes with the puck down in the Kings zone. Kings will take advantage of that, pick that puck up and skate it out. Melanson. He tried to lift it up in the air. It went off a Nova player, and he's forced to peel off, and the Team Nova will gather it up. X-Men move it forward. They come with speed through center ice. Welton into the zone. Gives it off there for Ellis. Chase Ellis. Skilled player is number 16 in blue. Back to the line. Shot knocked down there off the stick of Welton. Some good pressure here by Nova. Trying to work it toward the front of the goal. Welsh down, keeping an eye on things. Welton back at the line. Through a crowd. Deflected in front. Welsh down. Puck still free. Nova on it. And comes off to the side there. Anxious moments, but the Kings able to weather the storm and move that puck out. Quick pass in front. And almost a chance for a little tip in front, but Ewan McDonald jumps on that puck quickly and holds it with 6:01 left to play here in the first period. Scott Squires and the Bella Line TV1 crew, glad to have you along as we bring you full coverage in every game of the 2016 East Coast Ice Jam. Some of the best midget and bantam-aged players in Atlantic Canada being featured here over the 5-day tournament. Kings get it back to the line. Huseman holds it in there, but he gets knocked down. Coming in to help out was Secord. Secord takes a run at McLean, and McLean still down in behind the play as Secord took a run at her, and she's very slow to get up now. Struggling to get to the bench is McLean. Number 13, Ella McLean from Antigonish, took that hard hit from Secord, and she was struggling to get to the bench, and now she's got a seat in behind being looked at by the training staff. Chance in front, and Waterman puts it just wide. And the play called down at the line. So we'll keep an eye on McLean to see if she's able to return. The Nova bench is just to our right of our Bella Line TV1 broadcast position, and she is seated in behind the bench, being looked at by the training staff right now. So timeout has been called here, and a very early timeout with not quite 10 minutes of hockey played here in this first period. Coach Alex Carter wants to talk things over with his team, and as I look over to the Nova side once again, it appears that Ella McLean is favoring that left leg and seems to be trying to stretch it out. Again, never want to speculate on potentially what an injury could be, but I can only report on what I see, and it does appear that she is favoring that left leg. So again, we'll keep an eye to see if Ella McLean can return to action, and hopefully that will be the case. Face-off just outside the Kings zone and the Kings control. That pass went beyond the stick of Scott, and McDonald will chase it down into his own zone. Turn back around there. Sean Stewart had his back to the puck, and it comes onto the stick of the Kings. The KV Kings working that puck down low, trying to cycle it around, getting it back to the point. Long shot in there coming from Bellamy, and they score. Bellamy from the point through a crowd. I don't know if it was deflected or not, but it goes in behind McDonald in the Nova goal. And the KV Kings, whatever was said in that timeout by Coach Alex Carter, well, I guess he can pat himself on the back and say, yep, they listened to what I said. That worked. So the goal scored. Again, we'll have to wait for the official announcement to see. But the shot came in from the point. Now, whether or not it was deflected in front, that's another matter. So we'll wait and see who gets credit for the goal. But the long shot was taken from the point through a crowd. So they're giving the goal to 15, Ryan Scott, the man who was in the penalty box moments ago. So Ryan Scott, one of the players parked in front of that Team Nova goal, gets credit for the goal off of that long point shot. And it's 1-0 for Team KV Kings. 4:24 to go in the first period. Face-off just outside the Nova zone, and it's controlled by the X-Men. X-Men move it forward now, but the Kings will take control and move it back into their own zone and then try to get it up ice. Picked off there, and Nova bring it right back the other way. Ellis, he'll chase after it into the KV zone. Ellis gets to it first in behind the Kings goal. And a penalty call coming here. Contact to the head is the call. And it does appear that Team Nova will go to the power play here. So heading off to the box is Noah Adams, the young man from St. John, New Brunswick. He gets called for contact to the head, and it's a power play opportunity here for the Team Nova Junior X-Men. Ellis on the face-off for the X-Men. Ends up picking up his own face-off win. Worked across to Chisholm. Chisholm goes cross ice now. They work it around. Keeping that puck on the outside. Kings setting up that box, trying to keep Nova to the outside. Stewart back at the point. It comes to him. He goes cross ice now. Chisholm dumps it off, and he heads into the slot area. Puck comes over to Chisholm. He takes a couple of strides in, has that shot go off a skate as he was trying to get it in front and was looking for Hilling. Hilling picks it up. He tries to dip it out in front. Comes back to the line. Stewart dumps it off for Ellis. It goes through his legs. And Nova tried to get the little one-timer as Waterman was zipping in from the point. KV picked that puck up, and here they come now, 2-on-1 shorthanded. Kings coming in over the line. Here's a big shorthanded chance, and it's shot just wide as barreling in towards the goal was Huseman. And a shorthanded opportunity there goes just off to the side of the goal, and we'll have a face-off with 2:57 left in the period and 55 seconds left on the power play for the X-Men. Face-off controlled by the Kings. They get it back to the line. Long shot in. That was blocked down. And it's turned over. Now here comes Putnam. Putnam backhands it back to the line. Welton. He'll turn with it. Gets left at the boards. And the Kings bring it out. Ethan Johnson will chase that in for the Kings. He was on the heels of Helpert. And Team Nova get there first. 25 seconds left in the power play for the X-Men. Long lead pass there. That didn't connect. But Team Nova will gain control. Ellis in there. Coming in toward the front of the goal was Rake. Back to the line. Helpert couldn't control it. And trying to break away now for a shorthand opportunity again was Keene, but he couldn't catch up to it. He was out of gas. Here comes Welton. He steps around one man into a second, gets it over in the middle. Quick shot there from Ellis. Save made, scramble, puck is loose. Ellis on it again, puts it toward the goal. Bodies flying, and the Kings finally clear it. Back to the line, Stewart takes a wild swing and sends it in toward the KV goal. Teams back at full and even strength. Now power play is over and play whistle down. As we see once again that net that has been problematic all day here at this end of the ice on Rink A. It has come off repeatedly during the action here this morning. This is the third game on this sheet this morning, and it's the third game where we've seen that net coming off with regularity. So the Kings control off the draw. Long lead pass looking for Johnson. Here comes Johnson with a burst of speed. Johnson in and a save made. A great rush, but an even better save as Ethan Johnson busted in. But Ewan McDonald up to the challenge and makes a nice save as big number 90 came in with a full head of steam. Johnson from Kiersteadville in New Brunswick had a glorious opportunity there, but strong positional goaltending from Ewan McDonald in the cage for Team Nova. 1:17 to go as Nova skates it out. Coming in with it is Chisholm. He scores! Chisholm on the rush! The quick little snapper gets by Welsh, and a great rush by Chisholm. Using his size and his speed to break up the middle, dipped a little bit to the left, let the quick low drive go, and it gets by Welsh, and we are tied 1-1. So a late goal here by Team Nova has tied things up one apiece. 1:05 left in the period. Waterman and McLean getting the assists on that. So good to see that Ella McLean was back out there and feeling better about things. But a big goal for the X-Men late in the period coming from Logan Chisholm. 38 seconds to go. This period just about over. There'll be a 2-minute break between the first and second, and they'll switch ends and get right back at it. Puck up off the boards. Sent down. 20 seconds to go. Rake just off the boards, picks that puck up, tried to move it across. Picked off neatly there and swung back right the other way by Jackson Bellamy. Bellamy hits the ice. And now the coaching staff from the KV Kings getting on the officials just a little bit. I think I heard a comment saying, hey, we got to get a power play at some point, don't we? But isn't that just usually the way it goes? That it's quite rare that the folks wearing stripes make too many friends during a hockey game. The buzzer sounds to end the period. So 1 period in the books. Ryan Scott opened up the scoring for the KV Kings, but moments ago, equalizing and answering for the X-Men was Logan Chisholm. So 1 period of play in the books. We'll step aside for a quick break. You're watching Bella Lion TV1. It's 1-1 X-Men and Kings. So both teams had a few minutes to get some words of wisdom from their respective coaches. They've switched ends, and we're underway. Team Nova now skating left to right on your screen, and the KV Kings right to left in this 1-1 tie from the 2016 East Coast Ice Jam. It's bantam action here from the BMO Center. Scott Squires and the Bella Line TV1 crew, glad that you're with us. We are bringing you all of the action for the entire tournament on all 4 ice surfaces. Chance in front there is looking for a rebound was Andrew Secord, as once again Bellamy took the shot in from the point. Turnover there as everybody skated by the puck except for Noah Adams for KV. Coming in to grab that puck off the wall was Secord. He tries to bring it in towards the middle. This is Scott now. Scott with the wrist shot. He scores! From about 24 feet, the wrist shot beats the goaltender McDonald, and the KV Kings right back in the lead. Ryan Scott with his second of the game. So a nice goal there from Ryan Scott, the big 6-foot, 165-pounder from Quispamsis. Scores his second goal of the game, and it's 2-1 KV Kings. That shot was labeled. So Keene and Secord get the assists on that Scott goal, and it's 2-1, and here they come again. Kings in looking for it, right across crease, they score! Noah Adams on the beautiful cross crease feed. He could have set up shop, knit a crochet to blanket, and then scored. That's how wide open he was, and that's how empty the cage was. I may have had that, I thought I saw at 10 Adams, but I believe that might be the hat trick goal for Ryan Scott. We'll have to wait for the official announcement here. But a beautiful cross crease feed. And it is indeed Scott. So I believe it was, when I took a quick look, the jersey tucked in, I thought I saw a 10, Noah Adams, but it was 15, Ryan Scott, and it was the wonderful feed, the Caleb Keene assist through the crease. And really, Scott had all day at the side of the goal to put that puck in the gaping cage, and the timeout called by Mike Stewart and the X-Men coaching staff to talk things over, as this has become the Ryan Scott show. The big 6-foot forward from Quispamsis putting on a show here as he's tallied the natural hat trick, 3 goals in a row, and he has all the offense right now for the KV Kings, and they lead it 3-1. Here comes Helpert. He backs away, throws it down into the zone now. Let's see what Nova has here. They've got to make something happen. All the momentum right now with the Kings in under a minute and 20 seconds of this period. They've opened up a 2-goal lead on the strength of those 2 Ryan Scott goals. Kings trying to keep that puck out of the zone, but it's pushed right back in by the X-Men. And here they come again with speed through neutral ice and into the zone. The Kings carried in. Quick shot goes wide from Dunn. X-Men will gather it up, and this is Welton. Welton brings it up. And a quick shot in there, and it kind of handcuffed the goaltender a little bit as Chase Ellis just fired that from about center ice. And Welsh seemed to have a little bit of difficulty handling it, but he does indeed hold on. And with 12:52 to go in this period, we'll have a face-off. And again, just an update on Ella McLean. She's got the socks off now and really seems to be trying to stretch out that leg. So again, not going to speculate on exactly what it is, but certainly would appear to be a lower body situation for number 13, Ella McLean. the defenseman from Antigonish. Face-off just outside the X-Men zone. They control off the face-off. Rake slides it over. Down into the King zone. Team Nova trying to keep it in there. Rake puts it in toward the goal. Trying to reach it was Hilling, but it was out of his reach, and the Kings bring it right back the other way. And over the line with it now is Bellamy. Bellamy's had a strong game. Right through the crease, they score! The Kings on it again, and it was from the rush from Bellamy. The puck came out in front, and it's now a 4-1 lead for the KV Kings as they start to pull away here. This line has been everything that the X-Men can handle. The Keys, Keene, and Scott. And with Bellamy on the back end, wreaking all kinds of havoc for the Kings, on to the X-Men. Here they come again. This is Scott with a quick shot. Rebound is there. Cleared away from the crease as again Scott in looking for his 4th of the game. Quick chance in front. Nova chasing it down. They trail by 3 now. 4-1 your score. KV Kings leading. That last goal credited to Caleb Keene, his 1st of the game. 4th of the day for the KV Kings in this one. Second period action here. A little bit of work to do now for the junior X-Men. KV Kings have been on fire in this 3rd period. 3 goals in under 4 minutes. And they come back looking for more. Ethan Johnson. He bowls his way in, has that stick tightly around that puck. He gets muscled out of the corner. Now there's a battle for it in there as several players fighting for it. Adams comes away with it. Noah Adams draws a penalty and play carries on. Delayed call here. Puck in from the line, stopped in front, a battle for it. Still delayed penalty, extra attacker on. Net empty for the Kings. 6-on-5 on this delayed call. Another chance in front, and they still have control due to the Kings. Dumping it off there was Melanson. Melanson tries to get it, and it goes back outside the line. Delayed penalty coming here. Net empty for the Kings, extra attacker on. 6-on-5 here for the Kings on this delayed penalty. There have been several scrambles in front, but the X-Men had not touched the puck until that moment when Ellis gains control. The whistle blows, and now the Kings will go on the power play. So things have not gone well here for the junior X-Men in this period. They're down by 3, and now we'll have to kill off a power play as Welton goes to the box for holding. So the man advantage here for the Kings, who've already scored 3 this period. Tip in front there as Secord got a stick on it. Secord dumps it off in behind. Picked up there and cleared away by McNeil as he gets it out of the zone. 10 minutes exactly to go in the period, 1:41 in the penalty. Kings on the power play here, looking to add to this lead. Here comes Secord once again. Secord gets stopped up. Scott is there to pick it up and gets it back to Bellamy. This has been the dangerous combination for this Kings team. And another penalty coming here as again, with the KV Kings applying the pressure and a big forecheck in the junior X-Men zone, they force the X-Men to take another penalty. So it'll be a 2-man advantage for 1:16 as Stewart heads off to the box for charging, or excuse me, for boarding. So 5-on-3 advantage here for the KV Kings. Here comes Chisholm, shorthanded Chisholm, and a big save there by Welsh on the shorthanded chance. Not often you'll see a 5-on-3 shorthanded breakaway, but that's just what happened there. Logan Chisholm found himself with the puck on his stick and open ice in front of him and broke away from the two defenders and had a shorthanded 5-on-3 shorthanded breakaway. But a great job by the goaltender Jimmy Welsh to stop that opportunity. That would have been huge. A shorthanded goal at that point would have been very big. But back the other way now, Huseman skates it in. Stick breaks. Picked right back up. I thought it broke, but it just came out of the hands of the defender, Chisholm. Nova trying to pin that puck along the boards, kill some time off. Right out in front. Here's a big chance, and they score! Andrew Secord got the puck in the slot from about 6 feet, let the quick shot go, and it looked like Ewan McDonald had gotten enough of it to keep it out, but not enough indeed for the X-Men. And it's now 5-1, and they score that goal early on in the two-man advantage, so still 1:15 left in the penalty to Stewart. So that goal scored on the power play. So, excuse me, it was 81, not 91. I thought it was 91 Secord. It's 81 Drew Elliott who gets the goal. So Elliott scores on the two-man advantage, and it's still a power play here for the Kings. Into the slot again. It comes back to the line for McCluskey. McCluskey puts it in through a crowd. Another scramble in front. Ewan McDonald must feel under siege right now in that X-Men goal. Back to the line it comes. Shot fake there off from Huseman. Goes over. Huseman will reach for it, but it won't get to him. His teammate picks it up now and comes across to McCluskey. McCluskey back to Huseman. Huseman tries to step around Waterman. X-Men set up in that box. Kings trying to get into the middle. Tried to work that puck toward the slot, but it comes back to McCluskey. Connor McCluskey goes cross ice to Huseman. Huseman back to McCluskey. McCluskey takes the shot, and that went up and hit Ellis in the mask. I think he's okay. McCluskey back for it now as both teams make some changes. The penalty to Stewart is over. Both teams now back at 5-on-5. 7:30 to go in the second period. 5-1 the lead here. 4 unanswered goals in this period by the KV Kings. Junior X-Men looking for that long lead pass. There it is, a beautiful pass. And the save made again by Welsh as he's denied a couple of breakaway chances for the X-Men. The long lead pass finding Logan Chisholm, and he did a great job to take that pass and bust in and get a chance. But again, Jimmy Welsh equal to the task, keeping this at a 5-1 game. And after the play, Jackson Bellamy takes the penalty, so a man advantage now for the Junior X-Men. Well, if the team ever needed a power play goal, it's the X-Men right about now. The X-Men have been thwarted on a couple of breakaway chances. Jimmy Welsh has stymied the Junior X-Men a couple of times on breakaway chances. And the X-Men now have 1:35 to go in this power play. Trailing 5-1, trying to bring that puck out of the zone. It's been a great period for the Kings, no doubt. They've tallied 4 this period. Here's Rake. Takes right into the middle. Tries to get a shot away, but it's blocked down, and Johnson broke it up. Shot coming from the point there and handled by Welsh once again. 6:26 to go, second period action. 1:18 to go in the power play. 5-1 your score. Again, it's been an outburst of offense here in this second period. 4 unanswered goals. And that's where we are right now. 5-1. There's a quick shot. Rattles off glass around to Stewart at the point. Stewart dumps it off to the half wall. Welton tries to go back to Stewart. Stewart does a good job of keeping the net at the line, but then throws it into his own bench, and we'll have a face-off and it should come just outside the Kings line. .59 seconds left to go in the penalty to Jackson Bellamy. And the junior X-Men control off the face-off. Stewart tried to go cross ice, almost picked off there by Secord. And the puck goes down in behind the Kings goal. Hammered around the boards and out past the line. And the Kings will chase that down as Nova forced to retreat. Ewan McDonald turns that puck and gives it off to his defenseman, and now the junior X-Men will move that puck up ice. Chase Ellis trying to do it all himself. Tried to bust up the middle. Puck goes in behind the goal. Nova still have control. Stewart keeps it in at the line, gets it off to Big Ellis. Ellis tries to throw it over into the middle. That was broken up, and the play back down to the line now. Stewart throws it in toward the goal again. It goes in wide. Welsh down, covers up, and a couple of players digging in for it. But Jimmy Welsh has a good hold of it and will have a face-off. 9 seconds left in the penalty to Bellamy. 5:17 to go here in this second period. Face-off will be in the King zone to the left of Welsh. Ellis in on the draw. Matt Ellis, that is. Picking it up off the face-off is McCluskey. Comes out the other side. Keane over there, penalty over, teams back at even strength. Coming up to 5 minutes left here in this second period. Puck along the wall. Kings try to move it out. Coming up with it is Keane. Caleb Keane gives it off there for Keys. Keys tried to take a shot that hit a leg in front. Another quick shot there coming, and save made by Ewan McDonald as the Kings look to get another one on the board here as Brad Melanson took that last shot. 4:43 left in the second period, and the faceoff will be in the junior X-Men zone. Keane in on the draw for the Kings, and it comes back just beyond the stick of Bellamy, and he'll have to retreat. Scott had to go underneath his stick. Scott has the natural hat trick here today, and his teammate Keane also has a goal. Bellamy pushes it along the wall. This is Keane. Keane steps around his man. Welton goes in to stop that and get it back the other way for the junior X-Men. 4:16 to go in the period. The KV Kings move that puck up into neutral ice just over the red line. And now it's back down into the Nova zone. The X-Men regroup in behind their own goal and try to move that puck forward. Here comes Ellis. Chase Ellis loses the handle on the puck, but Welton picks it up, tries to bring it in, and then dump it back, a little back pass to Hilling. That didn't work. And over on the far side now, Ethan Johnson picks it up. Johnson gets it up ahead for Secord. Secord throws that puck down into the zone. Johnson giving chase with good speed. Very fast team up front are the KV Kings. Their speed has been pressuring the X-Men all game long. Over on the far side now, it's Stewart for the X-Men. Puck drop back, long shot in, and no problem there as Jimmy Welsh grabs it and makes the save with 3:21 to go in this second period. We still have not seen the return of Ella McLean as she tried to make a go of it, but has come off again, and for the last little while, again has been favoring that left leg, so we'll see if her return is doubtful or not. Meanwhile, up the ice comes Johnson for the Kings. Rake breaks it up for the junior X-Men. Slides it around the other side there for Graham McDonald. A couple of players collide over along the half wall. McDonald swings it in behind his own goal and out the other side. The physical game picks up a little bit now. Shot hammered in there from Thomas Monroe. Kept in at the line, but then the junior X-Men finally bring it out. chance there is coming in with the puck was Rake. He gets hauled down looking for the penalty call, none coming. And right back the other way comes Elliott. Drew Elliott steps around his man. Elliott has a goal here this afternoon. Over to Dunn. Dunn gets hammered into the glass, and the X-Men turn it right back the other way. Here come the boys in blue. The X-Men need some kind of life here, something good to happen. McNeil in over the line. He gets hammered into the end boards. Physical play has stepped up a few notches here in the last few minutes. 2:10 to go in this period. It's Black for the Kings. He bangs it off the wall, as does Dunn. Puck goes down into the King zone. And the X-Men trying to take advantage of a change here, but it goes off the skate of McNeil, and it slows the progress of the X-Men. McCluskey takes a big hit there in his own zone, and the puck comes back the other way. Here comes Keene. Keene with a quick shot. Save made, and a penalty coming here as the X-Men touch the puck, and again, it's Caleb Keene and that speed of the KV Kings causing all kinds of problems for the Nova Junior X-Men. So heading off to the box is Mason Grant for the Junior X-Men. Face-off will be in the Nova zone to the right of Ewan McDonald. It's been a tough game for the Nova keeper so far, and you can't really say that he's been at fault for any of them. It's just been some well-placed shots and some scrambly play in front. So the Kings on the power play once again here with 1:33 to go in the period. Five-on-four advantage here for the Kings. They look to add to this lead. Scott already with 3. Dumps it off down low. He goes to the front of the goal. Hanging out there well as Andrew Secord, but it comes back to McCluskey at the line. McCluskey dips and doos with it. Dumps it off along the half wall. McCluskey gets it back at the line. Slides it cross ice. Big shot there by Bellamy, got knocked down. Bellamy loaded up that cannon and let it go. Another shot comes in from the other side and it goes wide. Scott tries to track it down there in behind the goal. 52 seconds to go in the period. 1:08 in the power play for the Kings. And Secord steamrolls his man. My goodness, Andrew Secord just laid waste to the Team Nova player there, and he's got this puck on his stick now. Back to McCluskey. McCluskey and Bellamy change places. Bellamy gets the puck, lets that wrist shot go. I think that hit the post. Shot from the point from Big Bellamy. McCluskey now floats it in. Team Nova just hanging on here in the final 22 seconds. Bellamy turns with that puck. He's a big lad, 6'2", 160 pounds from Hampton, New Brunswick, is number 76 in white. He has been a force to be reckoned with from the back end for this Kings team. 8.1 seconds left in the period, 26 in the power play. A dominant period for the most part for this KV Kings team. So there seems to be some confusion here as to who's getting the penalty and who's going to serve it. Looks like they've got it sorted out now, and it will be, no, well, Scott headed to the box, and then he changed his mind, turned around, and then went back in. So the man with the hat trick will now sit in the penalty box, thus nullifying the power play. So we're 4 aside here for the last few seconds. That shot floats in, stopped, and as the buzzer sounds, the period ends. So we'll have 18 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey to start the third, and then Team Nova will go on the power play. So 2 periods in the books. We were even after 1, but the floodgates opened. 4 unanswered goals by the Kings in that second period. And with 2 periods gone by, the KV Kings lead the Junior X-Men by a score of 5-1. We'll be back with third period action. You're watching Bell Alliant TV1 from the 2016 Ice Jam. Well, it was a tale of two teams in that second period, and the story much better for the KV Kings than it was for the Nova Junior X-Men. The teams came into the second period tied 1-1, but 4 unanswered goals. Leading the way for the KV Kings was Ryan Scott. And it's 5-1 here as we start this third period. Lots of hockey left, but a big hill to climb for the Junior X-Men. Puck down into the Kings zone. The KV Kings now skating left to right on your screen. The Nova Junior X-Men right to left as that puck goes all the way down into the Nova end. And they will turn it back the other way. Stepping around Secord there, but the Kings pick it up. Trying to come back in transition. Here they come, 2-on-1 chance now for the Kings. Puck goes down into the Nova corner. And Team Nova will turn it right back. Fresh ice here in this third. 20 minutes on the clock. Puck put out front there as Rake put it through the middle. Puck into the middle of the ice. Nova trying to do something to get it towards, back to the line. It comes in a big blast there, rebound, they score! So something needed to go well for the X-Men, and it did there as Matt Ellis let the big blast go from the point, and the rebound was there after Welch made the initial save, and we'll have to wait. I believe it may have been Putnam who deposited that puck home, but it was certainly the big point shot from Ellis, and I was just about to say that the Kings were doing a good job of keeping everything away from the front of the goal. Pardon me. And then the blast from Ellis and the rebound chance, and it's 5-2. So an early goal in the third, that's what Nova needed. That's what they've got. See if they can change the complexion of this game here and get some of the momentum back. And here's a guy who can do it as well, Chisholm, excuse me. Chisholm gets hauled down and a penalty forthcoming here. So on the heels of the goal is a power play chance. So it is indeed Michael Putnam who gets credit with the goal. So it was Matt Ellis with the point shot. Save was made by Welsh, but Putnam on the doorstep to bang home the rebound. And now a 5-2 game, and all of a sudden, things turning just a little bit as Melanson goes to the box. And now, after getting a goal, the X-Men to the power play. Chisholm throws it in there, but it's backhanded away by Ethan Johnson. My, how things would change if the X-Men were able to score a power play goal here. That would give them all kinds of life. Here comes Chisholm down the left side. Hilling going toward the middle. And taken down heavily there was Chisholm, much to the dismay of the X-Men bench. Waterman tries to throw it in toward the front of the goal. That got blocked down. And the Kings take it back the other way now. Keene being hounded there by Chisholm from behind. Chisholm still has the ice shavings all over the back part of his pants from where he got hauled down in behind the Kings goal. And again, that did not make the Nova bench happy, and they are jawing at the referee right now. Somewhat of a friendly conversation, I guess, between coach and referee, but certainly the coaching staff of the X-Men making their point about how they felt about the play moments ago with Chisholm getting hauled down in behind the Kings goal. So we've got another penalty here. Chisholm gets called. So 4-on-4 here for 1 minute and 10 seconds. And that's part of the conversation that the the Nova coach had was you didn't call the penalty or you didn't call the play on Chisholm moments before, which to them seemed to be blatant. And then moments later, Chisholm himself gets called for the minor and now sits in the box. So 16:46 to go in the period. 1:01 to go in the penalty to Melanson and 1:44 to go in the minor to Chisholm, and 4-on-4 for the next minute and one, barring any other calls. So a little extra skating room out there. Faking the shot is Huseman. Pardon me, Huseman puts it in, goes off a skate and up over the goal. Grabbing it now is McNeil. McNeil gets taken into the boards, but it's picked up and carried forward. Exman trying to break into the zone. Waterman made a nice rush, throws that puck in around the boards, had a chance to talk to his dad, actually Gary, moments ago between the second and third. Saw him up top on the concourse with his lovely wife. So I actually have now met Darren Waterman's mom and dad. Commented in the second that I had met Gary, but not Gary's lovely wife. Well, I've met both of the Watermans now, and having a pleasure calling their son Darren playing the game. Here's Ellis. Chase Ellis busts in, tries to get a backhander away. Ellis trying to do it all himself right there. And the penalty to Melanson is over, so now it's a short power play, 40 seconds for the Kings. Kings come down with that puck, 15:35 left in the period. Back forward is Bellamy. Puck to the line, just over the stick of Bellamy, but Dixon will retreat into his own zone and gives it off to Bellamy. It goes through his legs and out into neutral ice. Keys tries to track it there, but it's picked up by Rake. He gets taken heavily into the boards by Scott, and the puck goes in behind where it's picked up by Bellamy. Big number 76, Bellamy, gives that puck off now, and Scott brings it into the zone for the Kings. Hilling takes Scott into the boards. Some physical play in behind the Team Nova goal, and again a big hit in there as the bodies start to fly now. 14:45 to go in the period. Teams back at full and even strength. Here comes Chisholm, freshly out of the box. Chisholm tries to dance around two defenders, can't do it. Falling in behind the goal is Huseman, but the Kings are able to get that puck and send it out of the zone. Puck sent down in there. Huseman after it. He'll take it in reverse course in behind his own net, but Team Nova pick it up. Ellis takes that puck now down into the corner. And the play whistle down as we've got a penalty for contact to the head here. And I mentioned a few seconds ago that the physicality had picked up, and just a little too physical there was Mr. Bellamy. And I joked with Alex Carter and the coaching staff from the Kings in the hallway just before the teams took the ice here for the third, as I saw Jackson Bellamy standing there. And I mean, I'm 6'2", I'm a big lad myself, but my goodness, this young man, Jackson Bellamy, born in 2001, and I was looking up at him. And I joked with the coaching staff. I said, "Are you sure he's a Bantam age kid?" And they laughed and they said, "You should see some of the guys out there." And I said, you know what? They grow them big these days, as Chase Ellis has that shot whip off the crossbar. But there's no doubt that some of these young men out playing this game here today, this Bantam team, these Bantam teams, if you look down the list, Chase Ellis for the Junior X-Men, 6'1", 192. We mentioned Bellamy at 6'2", 160 for the Kings. Just a large group of kids growing up in hockey these days. Ellis has that puck now and turns it over to his teammate, and they try to skate it out of the zone, but the turnover there, coming in with it, is Dunn. Dunn busts towards the net, tried to put the backhander in. It went up and over the goal. Back to the line, kept in there. Puck floats in, high off glass and into the back. Tracking it there is Hilling, and Chase Ellis will come away with it. Ellis loses the puck, and it comes right to the red line. Stewart fires it over. Waterman in after it. He gets put into the boards there by McCluskey. Puck out, but not past the line, and it's rifled right back in. Chase Ellis on that puck. The power play, it was a double minor. I failed to mention the contact to the head penalty to Bellamy was a double minor. It was 4 minutes. Again, it can be the referee's discretion whether it's a 2 or a 4. He called a 4. So there's still 2:35 left in that man advantage. It would be so great for the X-Men if they could score before the first 2 minutes are up. McLean, good to see her back on the ice after she was favoring that leg after that hit earlier in the game. She got some work and was stretching it out, and good to see number 13 in blue back out there for the Junior X-Men. Pass comes across to McLean. She shoots, rebound chance there. They shoot again. Save made, players flying. Waterman gets sent flying. Couple of big chances in front by the X-Men, started by that shot from McLean. McLean pinches in. She overskated the puck there, and Keene almost had a break for the Kings. 1:50 to go now in that penalty to Bellamy. 11:55 to go in the period, and here come the Kings 2-on-1 shorthanded. Keene coming down, decides to shoot himself. The play juggled, and a nice save there as Ewan McDonald was staring a shorthanded 2-on-1 in the face, and Keene decided to take the shot himself and had it labeled for the top corner, but a nice save there as Ewan McDonald stuck out the glove, juggled it, but did hang on to make the save. Team Nova still on the power play here. 1:30 left to go in the man advantage. 11:37 in the period. Nova digging for it in behind their own goal, and they come away with the puck. Lead pass there looking for Waterman. Waterman's got a step on his man. Takes the backhander. Pad save. Rebound chance. Couple of players whack away at it. Another close chance in front for Team Nova, but nothing to show for it. A good rush there by Waterman, and he got the initial chance away, and then the rebound was sent just into the pads, and then the whistle goes, and we've got 11:14 to go in the period, but certainly they've had a couple of chances, have the Junior X-Men on this elongated power play. 1:04 to go in the man advantage for the boys in blue. The faceoff will be deep in the King zone to the left of Welsh. Faceoff controlled by Team Nova. This is Chisholm. Chisholm takes a shot through a crowd, bounces off his own man, and the puck goes down into the corner. Out the other side, rushing over to stop it there is Stewart. He does keep it in at the line. Waterman watches it go by him, comes back to the line again for Stewart. Stewart goes over to his partner, Chisholm, back to Stewart. He walks into one, goes just wide as Waterman looked for the deflection. Here's Chase Ellis now along the wall. Back to the line for Stewart. Stewart winds, fires, deflected in front and into the corner. 27 seconds to go in the power play. Stewart waiting for it at the point. He gets it there. He gets it off to the wing this time. Chisholm walks around a couple of players, chips it in towards the goal. Hilling was in there looking for something, but it didn't connect. Waterman goes back to the line, and it goes all the way past Stewart and down the ice. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Chase Ellis, they were trying to catch the Kings on a change with that long lead pass, but they were offside, and the play will be stopped with 10:14 to go in the period and just 4 ticks left on the power play to Bellamy. Faceoff will be just outside the King zone. Bellamy already has his hand on the door, waiting to come out. Penalty to Bellamy is over. He's back on, and the teams are back 5 aside. And we've reached the halfway mark now of this third period. 10 minutes to go in period 3. Nova has tallied 1 here in this period, but they still trail by 3 at a 5-2 count. Puck comes toward the front of the goal, but ends up going over into the corner. Melanson back at the point. It doesn't come to him, and it ends up on the stick of McNeil. Rake tried to get it ahead there, but it's turned away, and going back the other way with it was Adams. And we've got another stoppage here. 9:32 left to play. So a penalty call here on Team Nova. And I believe it may have been a too many men on the ice call. So Kings to the man advantage here. Serving the penalty is Ella McLean. She's in the box for 2 or less here. 9:22 to go in the period. Bellamy dishes off to the left side. Puck comes back to Bellamy now. He gives it off to Huseman. Huseman goes cross ice. Quick chance there. Nice save made. Good chance there as Secord had the little chip shot in front. Ewan McDonald has given up 5, but you can't really say he's played a bad game, and he's made some huge saves here in this third period, including a couple of breakaway chances. The speedy Kings team come away with it now. This is Bellamy. Like a steamroller busting in through there. Bellamy does it all himself, takes the shot that goes high and over the goal. An imposing force to see big number 76 flying down at you. Back to Huseman. He goes over to Bellamy. Bellamy spins. Tries to put the shot in. That goes off the defender, McDonald. 52 seconds left to go in the power play for the Kings. Puck down into the corner. Huseman waiting for it back at the line, but it won't come to him. Ellis steps around his man and now tries to step around a second. He gets around Bellamy, but Bellamy got just enough of him to force Ellis into the corner, and there's two big men going into the wall together. 76 for the Kings and 16 for Nova. Bellamy and Ellis. And sometimes when you see two big lads like that going head-to-head in the corner, it's hard to remember, or you have to remind yourself, I guess, that these are bantam-age players. I mean, you see Bellamy at 6'2", 160, and Chase at 6'1", 192 going head-to-head in the corner. Again, you gotta remind yourself that you're watching bantam-age players here. Spinning with it there is McCluskey. He gets away from the forecheck and spins it around the other way. Here comes McCluskey now. He lugs that puck out of his own zone. McCluskey takes it off the wall, dumps it in, and goes off for a change. McDonald stops it in behind his goal. Team Nova goes off the glass and down the ice. Just beyond the reach there of Adams. And Keegan Gilbert now, number 8 in white, in on the forecheck. Here comes Team Nova once again. Nice job by Rake to step around that one forecheck. Tried to find the puck over in the middle there, looking for Lochner. Puck, can they keep it in at the line? Several players in digging for it along the wall, and it does just come out to the red line, and Team Nova will gather it up there. Couple of players hit the deck, and the Kings end up with that stick. There's Bellamy. He has logged a boatload of ice time today for the Kings. 6:30 to go in the period. Both teams full strength at the moment. And the score is 5-2 Kings over the X-Men. For the Kings, a hat trick from Ryan Scott and single tallies from Caleb Keane and Drew Elliott. And that's their 5. And for the Junior X-Men, we've had goals from Logan Chisholm and Michael Putnam. Bellamy on that puck again, and it's whistled down. So we'll take a look at some of the communities represented here on the KV Kings. Rossay, Kiersteadville, Quispamsis, St. John, Titusville, Grand Bay, Westfield, Quispamsis, Sussex, Darlings Island, St. John, Hampton, Musquash, and Penobsquis. Penobsquis. That's a tough one to say. That's a tongue twister. Kings moving that puck around, getting it up over the red line. Keane just beyond his reach. And McLean McNeil overskated it there. Quick shot in there as Gilbert let it go toward the goal. Keane takes his man out into the corner, gets the puck back, takes the shot right off the post. So a good job by Keane there as he forechecked, got control of the puck, and got a shot away that hit the post. Here's Gilbert now. He tries to get it out front. Keane knocked down again. And Team Nova bringing it back the other way. Long shot in there with McNeil heading in toward the front of the goal. McNeil fights for it along the boards, and chasing it in behind is Huseman. Huseman has Ellison on the forecheck. Puck gets shot in from long distance. Chisholm chases it in there now for Team Nova. Right into the slot. Waterman with a shot. He scores! And he paid the price as he was absolutely hammered down from behind. But Waterman in the slot gets the pass and deposits the puck home. And don't go anywhere, folks. 5:10 left to play, and it's now 5-3. So Darren Waterman absolutely got hammered. But by the time he got hammered, he had already let the puck go, and it was in behind Welsh, and it's now 5-3. So Nova, they have kept the Kings off the scoreboard this period, and they've scored two themselves. So Chisholm with the nice feed to Waterman, and again, Waterman scores the goal and took the hard hit, but he's seems no worse for wear, and I'm sure he feels good about the goal. Chance in front, couple of players bang away. Backhand chance there from Johnson goes wide. Ethan Johnson on that puck again, gets it back to the line. Stopped there by Monroe. Monroe lofts it in towards the goal, comes out the other side and almost back to the line, but not out. Sent back in by Secord. Battleford in behind the goal. Down protecting the lower part of the goal is Ewan McDonald. It comes out the other side. Kept in there by Monroe. 4:12 to go in the period. A battle for it now continues in behind that goal, and it finally squirts out along the wall. And it's kept in there, as coming over to keep it in was Keys. Keys on that puck now. One-man wrecking crew on this forecheck. Kept in by the Kings. Here's Melanson now just joining the rush. Sent in toward the goal, but it was picked off there and sent down the length of the ice. And I think Team Nova there just wanted to relieve the pressure, stop the play, and get a change with 3:43 to go. They were hemmed up in their own end, and the icing allows them to get a stoppage. And unlike the NHL, you can ice the puck and make a change. So fresh bodies out there for the Junior X-Men. They control off the draw, send it in behind their own goal. Big hit over there. As I'm not sure, I can't see who that was. I believe that might have been number Welton, perhaps, that got rubbed out of the play. McDonald chases it down into the corner now. Kept in by the Kings as they keep this pressure on. Scott takes a hit right in front of the Nova bench. Keys sends it right back in. Stewart tries to move that puck forward. Nova desperately trying to get that puck out of their own zone. McCluskey now. He backtracks for the Kings. Hilling in on the forecheck. And the puck moved up to center ice. Here's Ryan Scott. Team Nova trying to get that puck ahead. Time wasting away as Chisholm takes a big hit there from Melanson right at the blue line. 2:30 to go here. And a big hit over along the boards on the far side. My goodness, I believe that was Andrew Secord on the receiving end of that big hit. And the bodies just starting to fly here now. Hard to see the jersey tucked in the back if that was 91 or 81 that was on the receiving end of that. It might have been actually 81, Drew Elliott, but with the jersey tucked in the back of his pants, hard to tell if it's an 8 or a 9, but regardless, big heavy hit over along the far wall. Puck sent off the glass and down the ice. And with a 2-goal deficit, it'll be interesting to see whether Coach Mike Stewart and the rest of the Nova coaching staff will want to pull their goalie with 1:48 to go here and trailing by 2. So the faceoff will come down into the King zone. In on the draw for Team Nova is Hilling. Welton steps up there. Waterman now in on that puck quickly. Waterman has Secord all over him. Huseman gets it, tries to move it around the boards, but it's picked off there and moved in toward the middle of the ice. Comes back to the line and just beyond the reach, and now a chance here. Coming in with it is Johnson. Johnson takes the shot, and the save made there by McDonald. 1:26 left to play. The KV Kings from New Brunswick leading the Nova Junior X-Men from Nova Scotia by a score of 5-3. And it really has been a tale of three separate periods. The first, and we'll hold that thought for a moment while we watch this play continue here with 1:20 to go. Nova desperately trying to get that puck up ahead. Will they pull the goaltender? I'll keep an eye. Meanwhile, coming in with it there was Chisholm. Nova has to clear the zone on the delayed offside. Trying to get it ahead there, but Welton knocked it down. Ellis tried to get it forward, and Nova right now can't get control in the King zone. Here comes Ellis. Chase Ellis has Matt Ellis with him. Again, the Kings turn it over and bring it back the other way, and they cannot get the goalie out of the net. 45 seconds to go. Kings now will be happy just to keep that puck down in the zone. Junior X-Men have fought back hard in this third period, have scored the only 2 goals in the third to cut the gap to 5-3. 25 seconds to go in the period. And here come the Kings again. Out over the line with it is Keene. Keene has Scott with him. It's been a dangerous line, and they score. Keene using Scott as a decoy, I believe, as Scott was flying up toward the middle of the goal. Keene going down the right side. Lets the wrist shot go and beats McDonald. And that is pretty much all she wrote here in this one, as it's a 3-goal lead now and only 13.8 seconds left. And I started to say moments ago that it really was a tale of 3 separate periods. The first period, evenly played. Both teams scored a goal, and it was 1-1 after one. Things really changed in that second period, and it was much on the shoulders of the line of Ryan Scott, Chris Keys, and Caleb Keene as they really turned on the Jets, and that line accounted for 3 goals out of the 4 in that period, and it was a 4-goal outburst in the second period for the Kings, and that basically was the difference in this game. And the buzzer sounds, a little pushing and shoving after the buzzer, but I don't think that'll last too long as the officials are in there quickly and separate the players. So 1-1 after 1, 5-1 after 2, and the final score 6-3. So an impressive outing by the KV Kings and a solid game from Team Nova. That second period really was their undoing, but if you know, hockey's a funny game. If you carve out that second period and just go by the first and the third, Team Nova actually won this game by a score of 3-2. But that's not how the game works, of course. But again, it's funny how you can dissect the game and look at it that way. It was 1-1 after 1. Team Nova won the third period 2-1. So if you carve out that disastrous second period for Team Nova, in which they gave up 4 unanswered, you know, Team Nova really was right there. It was that second period that was the complete undoing for this team. And the teams will shake hands now. Excuse me. And in a moment, we'll have the player of the game announcements. And I'm going to go out on a limb for KV and say that the player of the game will be Ryan Scott with the hat trick. But again, we'll wait and see. For the team for X-Men, I thought Stewart had a strong game. Logan Chisholm played well. Darren Waterman had a strong game. Chase Ellis, solid player, but we'll wait and see. Well, there it is. One of the guys I did mention. I mentioned enough just so I could cover everybody, but Darren Waterman with his mom and dad here watching. Disappointing in the loss, but he scored a goal and played well. Darren Waterman, player of the game for the Junior X-Men. And well, my prediction of Ryan Scott with the natural hat trick was wrong. Very deserved, and you know what? He did. The goaltender, Jimmy Welsh, played very well, especially in that third period. He faced some tough shots and kept Nova off the scoreboard except for that one goal in the first period. So player of the game for the Junior X-Men is Darren Waterman. Player of the game for the KV Kings, their goaltender, Jimmy Welsh. Your final score in this bantam game, the KV Kings defeat the Nova Junior X-Men by a score of 6-3. We'll be back with our next game at 2:45. You're watching the 2016 East Coast Ice Jam live on Bell Alliant TV1, your leader in local sport broadcasting in Atlantic Canada.